It's the NFL on EA Sports, and the question is, are you ready for some football?
It's the Denver Broncos and the Houston Texans, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
We are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis on hand. Kickoff just moments away. Charles, quickly, keys to the game.
For me, it's coaching. Who prepared his team the best going into this one to give them the confidence to believe that they would win the game? That's who's going to come out of this one on top.
And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. So out come the Texans for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
His ability to adjust on the fly is almost unmatched in the game right now because it leads to a couple of snaps per game where you just sit back and ask yourself, how did he pull that off? Opponents can practice and prepare each and every week all they want, but this guy, he is hard to corral.
Stroud looks to throw on the first play. That'll be caught right side by the rookie receiver. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 12 yards on the gain. A great start for this offense.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield and broke down the defender. Made him
what do you mean by that?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. And then he curls back inside for the completion.
This goes out wide for Mixon. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that's going to bring up second down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so, and gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 39-yard line. A first carry for the former Oklahoma Sooner, Joe Mixon. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
More muscle up front for this 2nd and 2. They've got 3 tight ends out there. It's Mixon on the counter. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
They have 3 tight ends in that formation. That's almost a universal sign that they're planning to run the football. But how about the defense there? They met force with force and caused a stack up behind the line of scrimmage and threw him for a loss.
Stroud to throw it. That is caught. And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want to throw body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
Here's Stroud. Throw over the middle, caught by Jordan. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's 2nd down. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. It's a gain of 13 for number 13, and it gives them a first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, 1st and goal. Here goes Stroud again. He's going to get this one out to his fullback. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll go as a loss on the play. Not what you need down here. It's going to be 2nd and goal. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And Stroud now to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. He'll wind up losing 10 there, a full 10 yards, so that one hurts. And it brings up 3rd and goal.
When you're this close to the goal line, you've got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Third and goal, and still a long way from the end zone. Stroud looking to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Alex Singleton. And the Broncos are going to get possession here as they force the opening drive turnover. Not something you see very often from a quarterback of his caliber, an opening drive interception.
Oh, there's no doubt in my mind that even he's surprised at how that one played out. But we know this guy is not going to stop him from continuing to fire as this game goes along. Probably give a little nod of respect across the field for that one and let him know he'll be back the very next series.
So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. And they will be led out by the youngster, the rookie, their QB.
We're seeing it more and more in this league, how teams love to have athletes back there taking the snaps, guys who can throw it and move around and get yardage with their legs if needed. He's one of the best examples that we see out there right now. He can throw for hundreds of yards one week and then run for 100+ the next. He adds an extra dimension that really confounds defenses when he puts it all together.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's the local Texas product, J.K. Dobbins. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
This 2nd and 4. They'll go again with Dobbins. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. They'll come up now 3rd and 3. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. A 3rd down gain of 3 yards, and that'll be enough. Well, after an interception, last thing you want to do is go 3 and out, give the ball right back. They avoided that.
Yeah, you definitely do not want to do that. I remember in college I played with a really big-time player on defense. We ended up getting an interception as we passed the offense coming out. He told him, if you don't take care of this football, you have to answer to me later. You definitely want to take care of it, pick up first downs.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Nix to the air. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some safe yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
2nd and 10. Here's Nix once more. A short throw to Ingram. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
And he will have a Broncos first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5. Well, Charles, it's early, but that's a key 3rd down conversion. Remember, they forced the turnover on the opening drive. Now they're in a position where they look like they'll at least get 3 out of this.
A great example of complementary football if they're able to cash this in, isn't it, partner? Because defense does this job, takes it away, turns over the offense. They just pick up a nice first down there. Maybe it's time to think about taking a shot in the end zone, because it looks like the field goal is almost assured.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is, finish this drive off, because they took it away, right? So now you got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
No score after 1 on EA Sports. Broncos football as we begin quarter number 2. Now 2nd and 5. As they've got it as we resume action. Nix looking to throw again. Over the middle, he finds Vele. And the Broncos are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. Now it's Nix. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Marvin Mims from 3 yards out. And the Broncos post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And he's got it. 7-0 Broncos. So that drive spans 13 plays. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. So now we get set to see Houston for their second drive of the ball game. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Man open. That's complete to Dalton Schultz. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Mixon will try the right side. And this defense able to plug him up there as he'll get a yard to the 35. When we talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot, he had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
Evident there that he learned his lesson from the last drive. No way he was going to force a throw that time. When nothing broke open, kept it, and ended up running for a first down himself.
Mixon with a first down carry. And some room to run now. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Well, when you're able to break a run against a cover 2 or a 2-deep zone, safeties are back a little ways. What you're counting on is the guys taking care of business up front and then maybe climbing to the second level, that offensive lineman or tight end getting up to the second level and able to block the safety in order to create a big run.
Now making those linemen work with a couple blocks. They look good doing it there. So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 35-yard line. Now to change things up, Stroud will throw it. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
When you're running the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available, and incompletion as a result.
Now a 2nd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. And completes it to Kirk over the middle. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
I think as he began this throw, you saw that the area was congested, but he has a lot of confidence in his arm, and he fits that one in there nicely. They pick up the catch, not much yardage afterwards.
7th play of the drive upcoming here on 3rd and 6. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. A fresh set of downs on a gain of 13 there for the Texans.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. The throwing again is Stroud. Quick slant caught by Kirk. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
Stroud. Here's Higgins out on the right side. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that will bring up 3rd and 1.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll look to make it 3 for 3 on 3rd down conversions. They need a yard here. They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And Mixon not going to get there. Running into a wall here, and they'll stop him short. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Remember, that was less than a yard. That was not a full yard. That defense, they were having none of it.
Yeah, the surge the offensive line was seeking actually occurred on the other side of the ball. They reestablished the line of scrimmage and stuffed them.
The kick by Fairbairn is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. So now the second drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. Here now a 3rd down and 8. To throw, here's Nix. Over the middle, complete. It's Harvey. And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on 3rd down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a 1st down.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. Harvey. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. Throwing Nix. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 41-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. And it's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice 1st down. Drive keeps moving.
And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. It's a pickup of 12. 2nd play in a row with a 12-yard gain.
All that practice time came to fruition on that play. All those timing routes that they work on through.
I believe they buzzed down. They're going to take another look at this play with all reviews coming from the replay official here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. To throw is Nix. They set up the screen for Dobbins. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down at will.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing, but as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Nix. He'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Nix to throw again. Touchdown, Broncos. Marvin Mims with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Broncos will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
And that's certainly an important score right there because they gave themselves a 2-score cushion heading towards halftime. Now you got to force the other team out of their comfort zone, and it changes the way you approach the second half as well. How you want to do things on offense, and your defense feels much better too, having that lead.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. And the Texans going to get the football one final time here in this first half. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Now Stroud. That's complete. It's Collins. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. Second down and a yard. Stroud to throw it. Another one caught by Collins. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Stroud. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Again, it's Stroud. Dumps it off to Mixon. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on third down, the field goal unit will come out as he'll try to get 3 before half. This will be from 56 yards out. And his kick is good. He got every bit of that one as it's good from 56 yards out. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So a big play before the end of the half to get him into this spot, and they cash in with 3.
How about the 1-2 to the solar plexus on that one? The big play, the field goal, not much time left on the clock. That's the way to go into the half.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And only 6 seconds on the clock, so time likely for just one play. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we have reached halftime here in what's an 8-point game. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
This has certainly been a fun one to watch so far. We knew this was going to be a battle, and we have not been disappointed. This is the kind of game that could wind up hinging on which side can play mistake-free football the rest of the way.
Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Broncos with a lead, and they will be receiving this kickoff here as quarter 3 is underway. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. And the Broncos offense set to begin this third quarter. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought in the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Off the play fake, Nix. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on third down.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
On third down, here's Dobbins. And he will have a Broncos first down. At least it appears that way. And he got it by maybe the length of a football. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Nix to the air. And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
And when you're in a one-score game in the second half, now's not the time to force the football in the places where you shouldn't. And that's a smart decision to just get that one out of there.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Looking to throw. Nix. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. That was Will Anderson getting home and finishing the play.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
And the Texans have an extra defender in the secondary now on 3rd down. Back to throw. Nix. And he's going to have the hook up to Sutton. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down.
Brandon, a good idea there on 3rd down. Run a little clear out and hope you can get your receiver the ball coming across the formation. Nice design, but well played defensively, and they stop him well short.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. It'll be a net of 39, 41-yard punt, 2 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. Here's the Texans offense now, readying for their first possession of the second half.
And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out, and now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
Stroud looking to throw.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. So the completion good for 6 yards, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
2nd down and 4.
Chubb running to the wide side.
He'll get a yard, that's all, as they get him down at the 28.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
3rd and 3. Stroud out of the gun here.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Able to get what they need to keep the drive going with a 6-yard pickup on 3rd down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Inside handoff to Mixon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And Stroud now to throw.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw. Stroud.
Pass thrown right back to Joe Mixon.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And that's the kind of play this offense needs to maybe kick them into gear a little bit. They've been stuck in neutral much of the game. Perhaps that can give them a little bit of confidence that big plays are out there.
So a 1st and 10 now in Denver territory at the 47. They go back to the ground now with Mixon.
He's got it to the 43 here. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. 2nd down and 6 now.
Again, it's Mixon. And he'll be brought down at about the 42.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
They'll break the huddle and come up on the 9th play of this drive, needing 5 yards on 3rd down.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in.
And down to the 20 he'll go before heading out of bounds. Great way to convert on 3rd down there. 21 yards the play.
How about a nod to the sequence of plays they're putting together here? This has been death by 1,000 paper cuts on this drive. But this is one of their best plays yet, and they're able to move it down into the red zone.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
DJ Jones in there to drop him for a loss on the play. Well, this offense has already been forced to settle for field goals on their drives earlier, so this is not a welcome sign here.
Indeed, it is not, and they certainly hope it's not a sign for the entire game because they know they've got to be able to sustain drives all the way through. Pick up those guys rushing the quarterback and give himself a chance.
2nd and 10. Thanks for tagging along with us here from Houston, Texas.
A handoff running left, Mixon. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
Continues to be a struggle for this offense and this home crowd. They're growing a little restless here in the 2nd half.
And I think they've just got to look at how they're trying to move the football. Yeah, you want to run it, but maybe you spread it out, maybe some swing passes that can take the place of runs and give you a little more space.
And that is too far out in front. He couldn't haul it in. Incomplete.
And that drive was going pretty darn well. 3 previous times converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said enough of that.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And that'll get the lead down to 5. So it's a 3rd field goal for him now. He's accounted for all 9 points. I look down to the sideline, though. You can just tell they weren't too happy for 3. They wanted 6.
So they have to have 6. Look, he's keeping them afloat, but they really need to do exactly what you talked about. They need to get into the end zone and score some touchdowns. Otherwise, he's going to have to kick a lot more field goals than just the 3 he's already put through the posts.
Fairbairn now following the made field goal. He'll send this one away.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
And Denver getting set to take the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts. Working out of the gun is Nix. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Harvey. Takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get him into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
3rd down and 6. Now it's Nix.
He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
And that's a really good job there defensively. They went into this possession knowing that they needed to get a stop. They're in a tight ball game, and they got it done. Great work to force the 3 and out. Got the football right back for their offense. They've got to go to the sidelines feeling pretty good about themselves and encouraging their offensive mates to get some points.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
And the Texans will take over.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Dancing to his left. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a halt. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Mixing up the middle. He can't get him down. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. 3 quarters in the books. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Houston. It's Texans football, but they trail here as we get started in the 4th quarter. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Stroud. Throw right side, taken in by Collins.
It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon, and he'll go down at the 28. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, you know they had a 3rd down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
Back to Mixon on 1st down. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now a 2nd and 6. Stroud working out of the gun. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
The coverage keyed in on him since that last completion his way. He earned a little more attention on that route, and that made it a lot tougher to get a clean throw his way.
So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. A handoff to Mixon.
What a great effort there. He's going to get this inside the 15, and they'll spot it at the 13-yard line. Nice run. 62 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and they'll be left with second and a couple. From the gun, a give to Mixon. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. A loss of 8 that time, and it brings up third down.
Those big ends don't really care what the play call is. Big pass, RPO, handoff, whatever. Their job, get behind the line of scrimmage every play and run down whoever has the ball. Mission accomplished there.
This offense so far on third down, they've been really good, converting 7 of their 10 tries. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. Stroud. Oh, no, he lost the football. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston.
We see this a lot on 3rd and short yardage, especially down here in the red zone. They're going to sell out to stop the run, try and hold them to a field goal. But once the running back gets past the first wave, the resistance can evaporate after that. And he not only picks up the first, but he takes it all the way into the end zone.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come.
Stroud's going to try to throw for the conversion.
And he's got it. So the 2-point conversion is good, and they add on to their fourth quarter lead. So that effort gives them a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage, at least give your team a fighting chance.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25.
Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here.
And now they'll look to answer working from behind. And remember, this offense has sputtered yet to score here in the second half. They'll need to change that here. They'll start on the ground with Dobbins.
Nowhere to go that time. Might have gotten a yard up to the 25.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd and 9.
Up the middle they go. It's Harvey, and he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Throwing Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have the Broncos first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Nix. He finds his man, complete. That's Harvey. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd down and 4. To throw, here's Nix.
Got his man complete over the middle. It's Sutton. And he's going to be taken down with another 1st down as the stop's made at the Texans' 39. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Back to the air with Nix.
Completes it to Evan Ingram. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Working the sideline there. Good route, good catch. 1st down, and he gets out of bounds.
Yeah, you have to like the play calling because you have to run some guys down the middle of the field to draw some of the defenders away. They can't just let them guard the sideline exclusively. That's how it's going to work. Sidelines and incompletions to use the clock.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins.
And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown.
J.K. Dobbins.
Scampering home from 19 yards out.
And the Broncos answer back with a touchdown of their own to take a 4th quarter lead. Plenty of scoring here of late, and our lead changes hands now in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, they just gave up a touchdown the other end, so they knew that with time getting short, they had to put something together here, and they were able to do so and retake the lead right back.
Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's up and good to make it 21-17. So that drives 7 plays in length.
And it's finished off by a touchdown run from J.K. Dobbins.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off.
And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So Stroud and the Texans
down 21-17, 2:09 to play. They'll have 1 play, maybe 2 before the 2-minute warning as they've got a 1st down.
Now Stroud.
He's got Higgins over the middle. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game.
So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire.
Stroud to throw it. He'll get this complete to Collins.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Now Stroud.
Here's Higgins out on the right side. Now the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
They come up now on 2nd and 2. Here's Stroud. That's going to be caught by Kirk.
I'm starting to wonder here. Are they trying to prevent winning? Because right now, they're laying back and they're picking them apart, moving the ball downfield. I think they got to start bringing a little pressure towards the quarterback.
Here's first down. Stroud to throw it. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
This is caught. He takes it across for the touchdown, and they've taken the lead late in the final minute of the fourth.
Wow, wow.
What a game this has been, and what a drive that was, Charles, to take the lead here late in the fourth quarter.
And, partner, that's a job well done by everyone, from the players to the guys calling the plays. And if I may introduce just one downside to the mix, might be a little bit too much time left. Enough on the clock for a final last-ditch effort to try and steal this win away.
Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. A drive that time of 6 plays.
And it's capped off by the late touchdown that puts him out in front here in the final minute of the contest.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Broncos offense and Bo Nix getting set for this next possession. And we'll take you through some of the highlights here. You'll notice he had a hand in a lot of them so far. He's got this offense rolling right now. Here's first and 10.
Back to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
Under 50 seconds to play. Here's second and 10.
They'll look to throw.
He'll get that complete to Vele.
Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's first and 10 now.
He'll look to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there, second down.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
Back to throw. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining.
Well, this crowd into it now. 3rd and 2.
He's back to throw. A short throw to Ingram.
It didn't check off every box, but the most important one. Got the clock stopped, getting out of bounds. They may be a little short of the first down, but I thought that was the key.
Too far for a field goal. They've got to go. It's 4th down. They're going for it with Dobbins.
And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37.
Nix to the air. To the right side, he's got Vele.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
One final shot. They'll look to throw. Sutton reeling it in on the left side. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 16.
Well, Charles, I know you have a lot of questions. So do I about the decision there at the end. It had the potential game-time field goal. Yes, it would have been a long field goal, but they passed it up, and they lose the game.
And you're right, partner. We all have questions, but I don't think anyone's going to ask the question more forcefully than the person who signs the checks for the entire organization. Why didn't you run the field goal kicker out there? You had a chance to tie the game. Looked like a makeable kick. Was the kicker hurt? Did you just not like the field conditions? This head coach is going to have a heck of an explanation.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.